Liu Yang's knowledge of the cultivation world was incomplete. Before joining Taoist sect Daozang, his information came from storytellers. After a year at Taoist sect Daozang, he rapidly accumulated knowledge about cultivation techniques, but no one had written in books how to disembark from a flying boat. Who would write such things? In terms of practical knowledge for living in the cultivation world, he was still outmatched by someone like Tao Yao Yi, who grew up in a cultivator family. For the flying boats, he knew only that they belonged to the landing gold chamber of commerce and that one had to jump off the boat. The specific method of jumping was unknown. Every year, these flying boats brought in huge sums of wealth, but for the landing gold chamber of commerce, this was a minor industry. The Landing Gold Chamber of Commerce was the largest merchant guild on Central Continent, with mysterious and powerful backing. They had countless treasures beyond count. As long as one had enough spirit stones, even legendary items like Buddhas Chinese letter, Demon Relms Chinese letter, or Immort ls Chinese letter could be purchased. Anyone who dared to owe the Landing Gold Chamber of Commerce money, or who stole from them, would face the disappearance of high-ranking cultivators without a trace. Legend spoke of a thief known as the King of Thieves, who mastered spatial techniques and could take others' storage spaces with ease. He could cross vast distances in an instant. He had traveled from the westernmost part of Central Continent to the northernmost region. He had even stolen from high-ranking cultivators. Theft was forbidden unless one stole from the Landing Gold Chamber of Commerce. Originally, the King of Thieves adhered to the Thief's Code and avoided any contact with the Landing Gold Chamber of Commerce. As his fame grew, countless powerful experts joined forces to hunt him down, but they could not find even a shred of his clothing. He gradually felt that high-ranking cultivators were merely ordinary people, and he no longer needed to follow outdated codes. He boldly declared that he would steal from the Landing Gold Chamber of Commerce tonight. People thought either that the King of Thieves had mastered spatial techniques so well that he could take items silently, or that there was a battle within the chamber. No one expected nothing to happen that night, and the King of Thieves never appeared again, vanishing without a trace. Liu Yang's embarrassment lasted only a moment. When it came time to jump off, strangers had no more time for him. Everyone held up paper umbrellas and leaped down one by one. Liu Yang and Tao Yaoyi moved as well. From high above, several strangers opened their umbrellas. From afar, they looked like tiny sesame seeds. Liu Yang pulled the rope behind him, and his parachute deployed with a loud bang, making him stand out in the sky. Back on solid ground, he would have been nervous at such height, but now he didn't think about it. Too awkward. Fortunately, their destinations were different. Only Liu Yang and Tao Yaoyi went to Chinese letter. Upon arriving in Chinese letter, they received a warm welcome from the town magistrate, who seemed to know exactly when they would arrive. Two immortals, you finally arrived. Your jump off the flying boat was quite impressive. Liu Yang opened his mouth but didn't ask why they knew their arrival time. My name is Liu Yang and this is Tao Yao Yi. We are disciples of Taoist sect Daozang. Our mission description about the fiendish bird isn't detailed enough. Could you please provide more information? The town magistrate had prepared a welcoming feast, intending to drink a few rounds before offering local specialties as rewards for their efforts. But seeing how quickly they moved, he was pleasantly surprised and secretly praised them. They were indeed worthy of being disciples from the immortal sects. Tao Yaoyi sized up the town magistrate. His cultivation level was at late-stage qi condensation, but his foundation wasn't solid, leaving him with a lot of impurities in his spirit energy, making it impossible for him to cultivate to foundation establishment. He was an ordinary cultivator with no standout qualities. When discussing the fiendish bird, the town magistrate looked troubled. The town was relatively isolated, and few outsiders visited. Now that news about the fiendish bird had spread nearby, even merchants were hesitant to come here. He had reported this to Quehe Prefecture, but they lacked manpower and didn't see any harm in the fiendish bird not attacking humans, so he suggested waiting until they could send people later. That was 20 days ago. About 20 days ago, FENG Chinese letter shouted loudly on the street, saying that a monster had come to his house and was eating people. It was very powerful. The townsfolk were shocked. Monsters that eat people are no small matter. There are only about 30 cultivators in our town, and I have the highest cultivation level. As the town magistrate, FENG Chinese letter brought everyone here. Before dealing with the monster, we need to gather information first. So I asked FENG Chinese letter, you say this monster is eating people. Which ones? A monster that has eaten a person poses much greater danger than one that hasn't. Humans are the pinnacle of all life and naturally possess the ability to speak. Once a monster eats someone, it becomes attached to their taste, leading to more victims. FENG Chinese letter said he didn't know which people the monster had eaten, but noted that the monster could talk because it must have eaten humans before. Indeed, there were rumors in the folk about monsters gaining human speech after eating people, but these were mere exaggerations. Monsters couldn't gain such abilities so easily. They needed to refine their throats to speak like humans, which required at least late-stage qi condensation. FENG Chinese letter said that the monster was brightly colored, and initially thought it might be a lost bird in the forest. The fiendish bird sat behind him while he sewed clothes, remaining still until it suddenly spoke, scaring FENG Chinese letter into fleeing his shop. I couldn't get much useful information from FENG Chinese letter, so I asked them to wait at a distance and snuck closer to see the monster. The fiendish bird had vibrant feathers with a glossy sheen. Its eyes were surrounded by bright red, making it clear that it wasn't an ordinary bird. Who would dare to look so ostentatious? The fiendish bird spoke to me, asking, "Who are you? Where is Zhang Guanjia?" in a hurried tone. I was confused because Zhang Guanjia was one of our town's cultivators at the third stage of qi condensation. He wasn't particularly powerful. Why would he have any connection with a monster? Trying to appear non-threatening, I politely asked, "Why are you looking for Zhang Guanjia?" The fiendish bird didn't respond and flew away from the tailor's shop. Since then, the fiendish bird has been flying around our town, eating crops, speaking like humans, though it doesn't eat people. Still, everyone is terrified. We live in constant fear that its ferocity might turn and it could swallow us all. Have you ever fought with this monster? How strong is it? Lu Yang asked. The town magistrate shook his head. The fiendish bird constantly flies around, hard to track. And I couldn't determine the fiendish bird's cultivation level. It must be at least 7 stages of qi condensation. I'm worried that if I confront it rashly, I might provoke it and make things worse. Lu Yang nodded in understanding. The town magistrate's actions were reasonable.